Everybody, Jason Burmis here, and it's time to talk Ghislaine Maxwell. It's time to talk about the upcoming online hearing tomorrow, the possibility for bail, but most importantly, why her being queen for a day may be one of the worst things possible for this case in a very injustice system. Now, before I get into what Queen for a Day means, I want to give a big shout out to Jamie Deluxe, who I originally saw this story from Maria Farmer, the first victim to go to the FBI and the NYPD all the way back in 1996, posted it. And I think he did a rather good job at addressing this issue and some other ones. He also played a video I'm not going to be able to play. Just being on the road and not being able to grab everything, it kind of sucks, but we're going to read the article, at least pieces of it, and explain what Queen for a Day means, because I know a lot of you are going to think it has to do with her photograph of Kevin Spacey in royal chairs, yet that is not what we are going to be discussing. Folks, before we get into it, I want you to thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share this information. The Burmis Brigade needs you more now more than ever. You know, there's a lot of haters out there. If I dare question any narratives that are fantastical, Jason Burmis gets stabbed all over the place, just group attacked by mentally ill folks and some well-meaning folks as well. But we're not here to attack. We're here to attack the predator class, not each other. $5, $10, $15, it means the world to me. Big donors need you now more than ever. Currently in Missouri, I think after this video, it's still pretty early in the morning, I'm going to pack up and I am going to head out to South Dakota. I think we're going to hit Sioux Falls today. It's quite the drive from where I am, but I'm ready to hit the road and get there. So let's talk about some of the big-time developments. First of all, with the bail hearing coming up tomorrow, the online bail hearing, there are people saying there's a good chance she actually might get bail. I don't know if this is going to be the case, because look, she had millions in the bank. She already had an LLC set up by another person to buy $1 million home to hide out. They obviously knew where she was, probably for the past year, seeing as there was news reports out of the Daily Mail that she was in Boston with the same tech millionaire who set up that LLC and bought that house. Still, we have really limited and sparse information out there, except for the fact that everybody is hemming and hawing over these supposed videotapes that we don't even know exist. This woman is masterful at disinformation operations, period. She always has been. That's why she hasn't been brought to justice for so long. She was good at what she did. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. Being helped by an intelligence community, the predator class, people looking the other way, that is also a big thing. And that's why this Queen for a Day thing is so damn dangerous, in my opinion. So damn dangerous. So what does it mean to be Queen for a Day and strike a deal with prosecutors? Well, here's the problem. So they're going to sit down with Ghislaine Maxwell, and they're basically going to give her carte blanche, immunity, for one day to tell them what she knows and why they should cut her a deal and what information is there. Now, here's the issue with that. Look, most police officers, most FBI agents, they're good guys. But when you get into the upper echelons in a case like this, there's always going to be a mole. So if you think whatever information she puts out there to try to save her own ass is somehow going to be protected, no, no, no. This could be a fishing operation to find out what she knows, where the evidence is, and what? Tie up the loose ends. Okay? When you have Jeffrey Epstein not killing himself once but twice, and Bill Barr affirming that he killed himself, any information that Ghislaine Maxwell shares may never come to the public eye. So let's talk about this. Ghislaine Maxwell sits down. She says whatever she wants because she has immunity to do so. Now, on the flip of that, if they find out at any point that she's lying, and this is a born liar, it's all null and void. But I don't think that's the direction that this is going to go in. I think that what they want is for her to spill the beans enough to know what information she has, what she can actually prove, what the evidence is that's out there that they need to go find and cover up for their royal class, predator class people, for their government, predator class people, for their tech, predator class people, and for their Hollyweird, predator class people. Okay? I don't think that this is going to be an operation that brings in the Sarah Palins, the Leslie Groffs, and even the Nadia Marcinkovas. And you know, for those that don't know about Nadia Marcinkova, this is the woman that was alleged to have actually been bought in Eastern Europe as a child from her family who rose through the ranks of the Epstein operation. And Maria Farmer has said, well, you know, if there's anybody that I could forgive for the type of acts that took place, it would be her, because she was literally bought and indoctrinated as a child. The thing is that all of this information is already in the public arena, and we should have so much more information, yet we don't, and that is terrifying. What do I mean? Well, before Epstein didn't kill himself, literally less than 48 hours before, it might have even been right around 24 hours before, a judge had ruled that over 10,000 documents were going to be released in the Virginia Ghislaine Roberts and Ghislaine Maxwell defamation case. Okay, and now there's several different lawsuits. Dershowitz is involved, Ghislaine's involved, Ghislaine Roberts is involved. And then that same judge, instead of releasing all 10,000, allowed over 2,000 of those documents to come out. Names that had not been available before were in there, such as George Mitchell, Glenn Dubin, and of course, former New Mexico Governor Ben Richardson, which is extremely troubling because Zorro Ranch still has not been touched over a year later. And you would think if the injustice system was a justice system and doing their job, that would have been one of the first places to be raided. Even more troubling is that we now have a judge demanding that Ghislaine Roberts and her lawyers destroy many of the documentations that they already have against Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein, and the crew, and provide proof that they indeed destroy it. When in modern history have we ever heard such lunacy in such a high-profile case? If anybody can point it out, I'd love to see it, because it is more than troubling. It shows you the direction that this is actually going in. So as I said, I am looking to hit the road because I want to find some place for when everything breaks tomorrow, when we find out what's actually going to happen to her, because there's a lot of people out there that believe that she's going to be granted bail. I don't know. The arguments they're going to make, it's COVID 1984 time. She's almost 60 years old. She didn't leave the country. She's not a flight risk. Yet you have the passports, you have the hideaway, you have the millions of dollars, you have the accusations. There's no way anybody in their right mind would call this woman a socialite who deserves bail. Oh, that's right, you're Geraldo. Geraldo, shame on you. The man, the myth, the mustache took a big time dive. And I got to tell you, there were things in that Jamie Deluxe video about Geraldo Rivera I was unaware of, including Bette Midler's allegations that she was drugged into a bathroom with Geraldo Rivera and her producer away from the rest of the crew in an interview where they popped what is known as quote-unquote poppers and put them up her nose and then began to grope her. Never heard that before. Heard it there, and you have to wonder if Geraldo is putting this information out because maybe he's involved, maybe he has friends involved, perhaps he knows a lot more than what the public does, being in those weird inner circles of Hollywood, of politics, of big business. It's definitely worth looking into. So guys, make sure you're thumbing the videos up, subscribing, and sharing. We're going to get at you from the road. And again, I want to thank all those who have donated. We're about the mid-month mark, so we're about $1,000 under where we need to be, especially being on the road. But again, $5, $10, $15, big donors need you now more than ever, especially in a space where there isn't a lot of freedom of speech out there, where it is being censored, suppressed, where distractions are all over the place online right now when it gets into human trafficking and child abuse. We stick to the facts, we stick to what we can prove, and we take a look at everything. So our eyes are wide open on the Epstein Maxwell case and the developments coming up. Remember, I am a documentary filmmaker. All of my films are free. Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture. I really encourage anybody out there that thinks they're getting new information on message boards about past corruption outside of not only child abuse, but other issues, to check out Invisible Empire. Invisible Empire goes into some of these kiddie rape rings and how they've been around for some time, how it's not a left-right issue. It's towards the end, but the other 2 hours plus in the film is also very, very worthwhile. So if you haven't checked out Invisible Empire, it's in the playlist section under documentary films. I absolutely love you guys. I want to thank you all for the support, and I will see you on the flip side.